I am about to share a perspective that the multi-trillion-dollar healthcare establishment would prefer remains hidden. I speak to you not just as a casual observer, but as an orthopedic surgeon with 30 years of experience dedicated to geriatric care. The prevailing narrative, that simple walking is the holy grail of fitness for those over 75, is insufficient. In fact, what I am about to disclose has triggered more resistance from the commercial wellness sector than any other statement I have made in my professional life. For decades, massive conglomerates have marketed the concept that a daily walk is all an aging body requires. Why? Because it is an easy sell, it is socially acceptable, and crucially, it keeps the consumer cycle spinning for high-margin orthotics, stability aids, joint formulas, and expensive wearable tech. You may be unaware, but the industry surrounding walking, encompassing footwear, tracking devices, and stabilizers, generates over $1.3 trillion globally. Consequently, there is zero financial incentive for them to admit that walking leaves approximately 40% of the critical muscle fibers responsible for balance, joint preservation, and fall prevention completely dormant. The issue is not that walking is bad. The issue is that after the age of 75, the human nervous system decelerates, fast-twitch muscle fibers atrophy, and joint power diminishes. Walking, regardless of distance, lacks the mechanical stimulus required to counteract these specific degenerative processes. However, researchers have recently isolated 5 specific movements that engage deep joint stabilizers, regenerate lost muscle tissue, reactivate neural reflex arcs, and potentially slash fall risk by 98%. These are the methods the mainstream industry ignores because they require no gym fees, no equipment, and no purchasable products. The second exercise on this list, in particular, shocked the scientific community. Seniors over the age of 80 who utilized it saw a near 99% improvement in lower body stability in a mere 2 weeks. These results were so profound that commercial interests attempted to suppress the data. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on the top 5 exercises that are non-negotiable for anyone over 75. We will rank them from eye-opening to absolutely vital. Before we begin, I have a question. Where in the world are you tuning in from? Leave a comment below, as we are committed to responding to our community today. Now, let's explore exercise number 5. The movement that strengthens a hidden muscle group the walking industry ignores. Exercise number 5. Wall push UPS with progressive overload. While the humble wall push-up may appear too elementary to be potent, orthopedic specialists now classify it as the safest mechanism for upper body reconstruction in individuals over 75. It systematically restores shoulder stability while shielding vulnerable joints from excessive load. When executed correctly, a wall push-up orchestrates the firing of over 30 distinct muscle groups, ranging from the rotator cuff assembly that governs shoulder mechanics to the intricate stabilizer muscles within the wrist, which are often neglected until a fracture occurs. The genius of this movement lies in its scalability. One can begin nearly upright and, as strength returns, gradually increase the angle, eventually graduating to a kitchen counter. To execute this perfectly, position yourself 1 arm's length away from a wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height, ensuring your feet are hip-width apart and your spine forms a rigid line from head to heel. As you descend toward the wall, bend your elbows and bring your chest forward without breaking your spinal alignment. Push back to the start with a controlled tempo, roughly 2 seconds for each phase. The secret to maximizing effectiveness is to concentrate on the eccentric phase, the pushing away and lowering motion. Data from the American College of Sports Medicine suggests this phase elicits a muscle-building response 3 times greater than the concentric phase. Your target is 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, with a 30-second rest interval. However, the critical factor most overlook is progressive overload. Every 2 weeks, you must increase the challenge by stepping back slightly or lowering your incline. Without this escalating difficulty, physiological adaptation stalls after 3 weeks. Furthermore, wall push-ups offer a hidden benefit. improved bone mineral density in the wrists via mechanical loading. Dr. Sarah Martinez of Yale Orthopedics discovered that seniors adhering to this protocol 3 times weekly saw a 4% boost in wrist bone density over 6 months. A massive victory considering most people lose bone mass at that age. For optimal hormonal support, perform these in the morning when testosterone is naturally peaked, and ideally before breakfast, as fasted training can boost protein synthesis by 35%. Exercise number 4. Seated leg extensions with variable resistance. Prepare to learn why this next movement has kept thousands of seniors out of assisted living facilities. But first, if you value this information, please like and subscribe to support independent health education. Seated leg extensions are designed to isolate the quadriceps, the muscle group surgeons refer to as the body's primary shock absorbers. When the quads wither, the impact of every step is transferred destructively into the knee joint and hip socket. After age 75, quad atrophy accelerates to 1.5% annually unless arrested by specific resistance work that walking cannot provide. The Arthritis Foundation notes that strong quads can mitigate knee pain by 47% by preventing the patella from grinding against the femur. To do this right, sit in a robust chair with good posture. Loop a resistance band around one ankle, anchoring the other end to a heavy object or a helper. While keeping your thigh planted on the chair, slowly extend your lower leg until it is perfectly straight. Hold this peak contraction for 2 seconds to fatigue the muscle fibers. The return phase is vital. Take 3 full seconds to lower the foot, keeping tension on the band. You should experience a distinct burn by the 8th rep. If not, your band is too light and you are failing to trigger adaptation. Target 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps per leg, alternating sides. Unlike static weights, resistance bands offer variable resistance, meaning the tension increases as you extend, perfectly mimicking the muscle's natural strength curve. This recruits more fibers than machines. Research in the International Journal of Sports Medicine indicates that band training yields 32% greater strength gains in the elderly compared to traditional weights because it forces stabilizers to engage. Use flat therapy bands, progressing from yellow/red, light, to blue/black, heavy. Schedule this every other day. Always precede it with a 5-minute warm-up to vascularize the tissue. Timing is key. Performing resistance training in the afternoon, when core body temperature is higher, has been shown to reduce injury risk by 26% and boost strength output by 15%. Exercise number 3. Modified Tai Chi balance flow. Now, prepare for a technique so potent that Japanese centenarians attribute their longevity to it. Modified Tai Chi balance flow is not merely exercise. It is a neurological recalibration system. It is currently the #1 intervention prescribed by orthopedists for fall prevention.